audited annual financial statements using XBRL from the 1st of April 2022. My name is Shani Kelly and I will be the facilitator for today's program. Alma Pinkham from the Corporate Education Unit will be our presenter today. After the presentation, we will have a question and answer session. During the webinar, you are welcome to post questions only related to today's topic under comments. We will respond to these questions after the presentation. If you have any other questions that are not related to today's topic, please log an inquiry on QRS, which is in the CIPC website inquiry system, or send a message on CIPC's Facebook page with the Messenger app. The recordings of this webinar will remain on YouTube should you wish to view it again. I am now handing you over to our presenter, Ms. Alma Pinkham.
Thank you very much, Shani. The purpose and the format of our presentation today, it is to provide basic information on matters that are related to CIPC processes and functions. The presentation will focus on the payment of annual return fees, the filing of annual return requirements, or then annual cooperative submission, as well as XBRL. Before we start, I just want to make you aware about two matters. The first is the Learn IBIS. The CIPC has launched the Learn IBIS program. It is a short educational course aimed at assisting new and existing SMME company directors to gain knowledge of their duties and responsibilities as directors and ensure compliance to governance requirements. The program is free of charge, and anyone who is interested can register on the CIPC website to join the short course. One can follow the course in your own time and at your own pace. Persons that attend the course can obtain a certificate of attendance after completing the course. Please note it is not an accredited course. If you have any inquiries, you can send it to e-learning@CIPC or phone the CIPC call center. The Corporate Education Unit is also planning to launch the use of emails to inform customers about matters such as new developments of CIPC and webinars we will host. To prescribe to the service, please send your name, your surname, your email address, your business name, and registration number if applicable, as well as your province, your town or city, and your municipality to e-learning@cipc.co.za. We are going to be starting with annual return payments and annual submission requirements. The Act makes provision for primary cooperatives to be categorized as either category A, B, or C. A secondary and tertiary cooperative, as well as a national apex co-op, all fall under category C, but have their own annual fees. The categories are used to determine different matters. First of all, the members' voting rights. Secondly, the annual fees. The amounts specified are from the regulations, as well as then documents to be submitted to the CIPC annually. One must always distinguish between the submissions you do to CIPC versus your tax returns to SARS. It's totally different matters. Do not get confused. Then voting rights in category A and B primary cooperatives. Every member has one vote. In category C primary, as well as all secondary co-ops, tertiary co-ops, and the apex, the Constitution may provide that some members have additional votes if a cooperative has 3 or more members. For those cooperatives, they can get more details in section 3, subsection 3 and 4 of the Act. Note the Cooperatives Act, as well as the regulations and principles of good governance, are available on our website. Regarding annual submissions and annual fees, this is related to Section 26A of the Act. Included in the regulations are annual fee amounts payable to CIPC by different categories of co-ops. The fees will be implemented at a little later stage, but before implementation, CIPC will notify customers on our website of the date. Fee amounts differ from the amounts paid by companies as well as closed corporations. Annual fees are paid in terms of the amount of annual revenue the cooperative made during the previous financial year. Reference to annual revenue, that is your turnover, means the gross value of economic benefits received by a cooperative as a result of its ordinary activities in a financial year. The annual fees differ between the categories of cooperatives. On the left-hand side, you'll see there's a column that says annual revenue. So a cooperative will first determine how much annual revenue or turnover did they make, and according to that, they'll determine which category they fall under. If they're a very small primary cooperative and the category A1, their annual revenue will be less than R1 million. They will lodge their application within 30 days of their registration date annually, and they'll pay R50. Should they pay late, they'll have to pay an additional R100, a penalty fee. Category A2, small co-ops, meaning they have annual return of R1 million or more, but less than R10 million, remains R50 and a penalty fee of R100. And I'm not going to go through each of the categories, but take note they are available on the presentation. We will also make the presentation available on our website after the webinar. Category C have got the highest fees. Here you can see the primary ones of $1 million, 25 million or more revenue per year will pay R3,000 fee, and if there's a late payment, there will also be a penalty of R4,000. The annual fees for category C, secondary, tertiary and national apex co-ops, if their annual return or annual revenue is more than 25 or less, than 25 million, their fee will be R450 a year and a penalty of 600. And then if it's more than 25 million, then the fee is R3,000 a year and the penalty is 4,000. Co-ops must remember to do record keeping, and the records that they must keep at their offices include accounting records, which must include all business transactions with members and non-members, their constitution and rules and any amendments thereto, the minutes of general meetings and director meetings. If a cooperative has a supervisory committee, it must keep records of those meetings. There must be a list of all their members, a register of directors, and a register of directors and employees' interest in contracts or undertakings. There should be accounting records and financial statements, which must be kept for 5 years or longer, depending on what the minister determines. At this point, it is 5 years. A cooperative or a director who fails to comply with record-keeping requirements is guilty of an offence. Every year, cooperatives are supposed to submit annual submissions to the CIPC. The documents that you will submit if you're a category A1 primary co-op will be forms C7 and 8. Your financial statement will be a form 15.1 that the directors complete, as well as an annual report, and all these documents will be completed by the directors of a cooperative. If you're category A2, you still complete a cooperative 7 and 8 form, but the financial statements become the cooperative 15.2 form, and you'll submit an annual report. All of these, once again, completed by the directors. Category B, primary cooperatives, submit a co-op 4, 7 and 8 form, and they must submit an independently reviewed financial statements as well as an independently reviewed report. All of these must be completed by the independent reviewer. Category Primary C, as well as all secondary, tertiary and apex cooperatives will have to submit a Co-op 4 form, a Co-op 7 form, a Co-op 8 form, audited financial statements and an audited report. All of these must now, in this instance, be done by an auditor. Then, next, the definitions of the different reports. The Category A primary co-ops submit an annual report. This includes a document prepared by the board containing the financial statements, which is drafted by the board, a social report and a management decisions report. A social report is a report that assesses the social impact and ethical performance of a cooperative in relation to the stated vision, mission and goals stated in the constitution of a co-op. Further, it must include a management decisions report, which is a report that assesses the cooperative's compliance with all legal requirements and requirements in its constitution. Category B primary cooperatives have to submit an independent review report. This is a report by an independent reviewer that examined and evaluated the financial statements, the social report and the management decisions report. An independent reviewer means an accounting officer in terms of a Closed Corporations Act, a registered auditor, or a member in good standing in terms of Section 33 of the Accounting Professions Act. Then Category C primary cooperatives and all secondary and tertiary co-ops, as well as the National Apex Cooperative, must submit an annual report or audited report. The report is by an auditor and he or she has examined and evaluated the financial statements, the social report and the management decisions report. If we then look at annual submissions and XBRL, cooperatives that are required to be audited, in other words, Category C primary co-ops, as well as all secondary co-ops, tertiary co-ops and the National Apex, will in the future be required to submit annual financial statements via the XBRL program on CIPC's website. XBRL usage will be available for independently reviewed annual financial statements, that is Category B primary cooperatives. However, it shall not be mandatory for Category B co-ops. The launch of a pilot filing program is planned for the 1st of April of 2022. This project will monitor how the system works and any challenges experienced. Compulsory filing is planned as from October 2022. CIPC will issue a notice stating when the requirements shall be applicable closer to the implementation date. If we can look at the financial compliance in the digital era on XBRL, CIPC embraces international financial best practices and the impact of the use of the XBRL when submitting annual financial statements online. XBRL is an acronym for Inline Extensible Business Reporting Language for Electronic Communication of Business Information, which was developed to improve the communication of financial data online and is used in a number of countries. XBRL simplifies how people use, share and analyze financial data. It's a computer language that will be required to transfer the audited annual financial statements of Category C cooperatives to CIPC. XBRL allows XBRL documents to be presented in a format that is readable by both computers and humans. Digital reporting in the XBRL format assists businesses to file their annual financial statements while moving from a paper or PDF reporting to a more constructed format. For more information, consult our website. There's a frequently asked question document and you'll find it under XBRL program on our website. Or you're very welcome also to send emails to xbrl@cipc.co.za. Also want to make you aware that you can log cooperative queries on our website. You find the Query Resolution System, or QRS, under the button Inquiries. It's a white and orange colored button that you'll find on our homepage. Emails can also be sent for certain applications to the unit. Cooperative 2 forms, for old CR2 forms for directed changes, should be sent to cooperatives2@cipc.co.za. All Co-op 6 forms, previously known as CR6 forms, for special resolutions, it's matters such as amendments to constitutions or conversions of co-ops, must be sent to cooperative6@cipc.co.za. Co-op 3 forms, previously known as the CR3 form, and the Co-op 4 form, previously known as the CR4 form. These are changes of business address, as well as your appointment or change of auditors and independent reviewers, must be sent to Co-op 3 and 4 at cipc.co.za. Note, it's not and, it's an. So Co-op 3 and 4 at cipc.co.za. Applications not mentioned should be sent to cooperatives online at cipc.co.za. Note that all new registrations of cooperatives, irrespective whether it's primary, secondary or tertiary, must be sent through the new e-services system on the CIPC website. We just want to remind you that CIPC regularly publishes notices on its website, and that is to inform you of all new developments and requirements at the CIPC, and it will also, for instance, show when there is a date determined for the payment of cooperative annual fees. So please remember from time to time to visit our website and go to the notices and see what is the latest developments. With that, I've come to the end of our presentation, so I will be opening our session on questions and answers. Thank you very much.
Okay, Alma, thank you very much for that. Now we will have our questions and answers.
I will sift through the questions related to today's topic. So if your question or comment is not related to today's topic, we won't post it, unfortunately.
Okay, thank you, Loretta, for that. Okay, let's see what's the first topic that we have.
Yes, most of the questions are not really related to today's topic. Let me see. Okay.
Is there any questions that you'll have for today's presentation on the cooperatives?
Okay, Shani, we have one, but I'm not sure whether they are asking relating to annual returns for co-ops or companies.
Okay, could I just mention, I see there was a question about the presentation, whether it will be available on the website, and the answer is yes. We will make the presentation available within the next few days. It will be under webinars, and when you go to webinars, please go to podcasts. You'll find the presentations as well as a copy of the webinar there as well.
Okay, let's see if there's anything else that... All the other questions, you are welcome to log a call on the CIPC website under our query resolution system, and we will assist you. So please...
Okay. I see there's this question, Shani. What is the name of the program you mentioned at the start of your presentation? I think they're referring probably to XBRL. Note, XBRL, as we tried to explain in the presentation, is not applicable to all cooperatives. It's only to the largest cooperatives that submit audited financial statements. So smaller cooperatives do not need to be worried about it. It is not going to apply to them.
Okay, I hope that answers your question. I'm just going through to see if there's any other presentation.
Yes, I see there was a question where somebody asked what is a link to register for training. What you can do is you can send us email at e-learning@cipc.co.za, that we add you to our education email list, that we can inform you in future. When we haven't started using this yet, but when we implement it, we will use it to inform you of our webinars or any training sessions we have.
Whitney, I see that you wanted to know about the recordings. Yes, they will be available on the CIPC website, okay? So you will be able to listen to the recordings again. And if you have any questions, please log a call on the CIPC QRS system.
Yeah, and Shani, can we remind everybody this presentation will remain available on YouTube. I think it's also for a little while available on Facebook after the webinar, so you're welcome to relook at it. We will also put it on our website under webinars, so you'll find it there with a copy of a presentation as well. It seems to me we haven't got any more questions that's related to today's topic, so I want to hand over back to Shani for closing our session. Thank you, Shani.
Okay, we have come to the end of the webinar. We hope you found today's webinar interesting and helpful. Thank you for joining our webinar. Good day. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.